I just saw that today.
For a third-round pick. It's like
he went to Tampa Bay, right?
Yeah, I mean, the cliche that sports is a business has taken over professional sports. There's almost no loyalty at this point.
So let me ask you this. Speaking of loyalty, you got Kawhi Leonard, who's been in the news a lot. Now, you have had doctors to say that, he's ready to come back. But Kawhi saying he's not coming back. I kind of feel a Derrick Rose moment. You know what I'm saying? A Derrick Rose feeling like right now, like, is he confident in himself? Now, we didn't have Rico, we didn't have Jatim. They didn't came out and said that his uncle is his agent. And that's part of the reason why he's not playing, because he doesn't like the organization. Now, my thing is that with Kawhi, if he's ready, I say play. If you're not going to play, let it out. Tell them, hey, I'm not going to play. I'm not going to be with the team next year. Get them out of limbo so they can move forward. Because they just had a players-only meeting not too long ago with Kawhi. And they were saying that players got emotional like, Joe, we need you for this push right now. Like, look what we done jumped from. We done jumped from 10 to possibly we 1 or 2 games out of the third slot. So what's y'all whole look on this whole Kawhi Leonard situation?
I think the comments from Manu Ginobili were incredibly telling. If you saw those the other night.
Manu was straightforward.
Yeah, and you know what? I give him credit because he's an older player, and he was real. He's just said, look, if he's not ready, like we got to have guys who want to be here.
Right.
And are ready to be here physically and mentally. And if he's not ready to be here, fine, we got to move. But, again, it comes back to, I think, if he looks himself in the mirror and he's totally honest and he looks at that Spurs team, they're not getting to the conference finals. So if he's got a matter of, I got to pass a physical in 6 months to get paid, business decision. And it's tough because
there's been a lot of that going on in sports lately.
There's a ton of that in sports, but I think
doing games.
The hardest thing with a guy like Kawhi is he's always been perceived as a team first guy, and he plays for an organization that has always been a player first organization under Pop. And so having now the shift in the perception that a player's doing him in San Antonio is a total difference because Duncan and Parker, they've always rewritten their deals so they can afford to compete.
Exactly.
But they got old, and they have not drafted to sustain the excellence, and 4 or 5 other teams in the West have just passed them by.
Now, in earlier reports, as of yesterday, they saying that Kawhi Leonard, he's eligible for the max. Am I saying it right? Max veteran player contract. He's eligible for which he's going to max out at $200 million. Shake, with $200 million on the table, man, and with your uncle having beef with the organization, players want you back. You being a player, what type of decision would you make?
I ain't gonna sit here and speculate and think. Ain't no way I'm walking away from $200 million. And then,
regardless of your uncle or whatever,
uncle, but I mean, if he feel the way where he don't feel like that he's gonna stay there, don't want to be there, I understand. But me, and they want me to be there. I ain't going.
Yeah, the players, the fans, they want you to be there.
Hey, I want to be there.
Even Pop had a one-on-one with you, and you still not. You came back. No, you didn't come back after the one-on-one. You still said you don't feel right.
So we got to ask what's really going on.
My thing is, the organization always make business decisions. Kawhi, he's a business. His brand, his name
he is an entity.
Business.
He is an entity.
So why do the players get so much negative feedback when they make business decisions?
Because I feel like
because
us as fans,
yeah, but it ain't like
he signed
the contract. Now, it'd be different if he was signed to a contract already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's a free agent after this year.
He'd be a free agent after this year. With the team, Spurs don't have a chance of winning. You done missed half the season, and you're going into your free agency. Now, as a player, we would say, man, who? Well, we saying this shit as high school background, college background, guys that, you know what I'm saying, that love the game. But when you get to that level, what Kawhi at in the NBA, it's a business decision.
Mm-hmm.
San Antonio has one of the greatest organizations and the greatest reputations
No argument
of
there,
organizations in the NBA.
No argument there.
San Antonio is one of the most loyal organizations in basketball. With what they did with Duncan, Robinson, the history of them, with the guys wanting to win and sacrificing themselves and their contracts so they can keep the team together. I disagree with y'all on one thing, saying that if Kawhi Leonard is healthy at 100% and can play, that he can't get to the conference.
I think he can too.
Tripping.
Yeah, y'all tripping. I agree with
about
that one.
Popovich's system. You talking about a system that wins with role players, and you add a superstar who dominates the game on both ends. Like the only team. First of all, you got if you say Houston gonna give you a game in the playoffs.
Exactly.
So you 0-1, you 1-0 on Houston already, because Harden and Paul is yet to show that they can win in the playoffs.
I think we going more off their reputation.
What was said just now was, if Kawhi comes back, San Antonio do not have a chance of getting to the Western Conference Finals, and I disagree with that.
Here's my
You
thing,
have
Rico.
a right to disagree.
Here's my thing, Rico.
They
jumped from number 10 to number 6 without Kawhi. When people were writing San Antonio off 2 weeks ago, saying that they might not even make the playoffs because they were sitting at number 10, but it was only like a 2-3 game difference. Go ahead.
But when we had that discussion, just because of the way they play, and I told you they gonna weed through all the bullshit, number 6, number 7 seeds.
They won out 3. They won out of
Yeah, I'm
number
saying,
3.
but they one game away. The way the Western Conference bottom half is set up, you go on a 2-game winning streak, you can go from 10 to 4 to 4th. You go on a 2-game losing streak, you can go from 6 to 12.
But they've been playing good ball as of lately.
No,
That's
they
what
are
we
ball-
saying.
as
They've been
of
playing
lately-
good team ball as of lately. That's why they got back in the playoff race.
What Tim just said. The Spurs always going to play good ball. It's the system. They always going to play good ball. But they just don't have enough manpower to beat the Houston Rockets with the additions that they add, or Golden State. Even with Leonard coming back, they won't beat them, bro.
What you got to say
They
about
won't
it,
beat
Tab?
them.
What you got to say
They
about
won't
it,
beat Golden State, but they can damn sure beat Houston.
They can beat Houston.
Something that not a lot of people have talked about because it isn't big time news is there's been significant movement within the Spurs organization with some key people leaving. A lot of the guys that were their top scouts, the guys that were finding the Kawhi Leonards at the schools that no one can remember or have ever heard of, guys that were running their D-League team, guys that were running their draft, a lot of the depth in the front office have gone other places. A buddy of mine was down there running scouting. He's up in Minnesota now. So
With the Timberwolves? That's cool. That's
So,
cool, man.
you know, that's a thing that I don't think a lot of people talk about when you hear that some players might not be happy. You got to take a step back too and think when there are guys leaving those mid-level positions in the front office, is there some internal conflict with the organization that's petering down to the players?
Well, that's why you're a pro. I mean, that's why it's professional basketball. You have to be a professional. You show up to work and do what you love to do. You play in the game. Whatever happened in the offseason when it's time to re-up and re-sign, you worry about that later. Right now, you got opportunity to put your team in a position to get to the NBA Finals. And you do that. After the season, if you're not happy, you leave. After the season, if you got another opportunity, take it. But if you get a healthy Kawhi Leonard, not a Kawhi Leonard that's 50, you get 100% Kawhi Leonard with the team that he has right now, San Antonio definitely have enough.
I say play.
I'd like to see him play, but here's the other thing that you got to keep in mind too. You look at all of the talk in the West, and San Antonio has never gotten as much talk as they probably should. But you look at all of the money that's going to be available in the Eastern Conference, and when you talk about a guy wanting to improve his brand, I'm not talking on the court, I'm talking about all the other money that this guy could make. Nobody talks about anything that Kawhi does off the court. And so there's also a reality that a lot of guys look at their personal brand and they look at the dumpster fire that's the Eastern Conference and big markets that are going to have a boatload of money to spend, not just the Knicks. And there's a lot of money to be made off the court for a guy like Kawhi Leonard on top of that max deal.
So let me ask you.
Kawhi
Go ahead.
No, he didn't re-sign his contract with Jordan. Not just speaking of off the court money.
He didn't re-sign with Jordan.
I think they was offering him like $20 million for 4 years or 5 years, and he like no.
After being a champion and an MVP,
I'm worth more than $5 million a year the way your gym shoot. I guess that's how I felt about it.
So do you feel like Kawhi is pulling, and for the lack of better words and a better term, do you feel like he's pulling a superstar move?
I think he's pulling today's NBA move.
Cause he can go.
He's pulling a superstar move in my eyes.
But I'm saying that's today's NBA.
Only superstars could pull that.
Because if you got a team that break down and want to meet with just you, and they crying, and you got veterans like Tony Parker saying, "Hey Joe, we shutting down the locker room. Get the cameras out of here, Joe. We got to talk to dude right here." You got a champion, a proven champion who's going to be a Hall of Famer saying, "Joe, I need to talk to you to tell you this is what we need to do in order to win this conference."
Which further lets me know his beef ain't with them. It's something going on, like he said, in the management up office. Something he don't like what's going on.
Jim Tim said.
What you got to say? Go ahead.
You speaking from a mentality that we was raised on. Mm-hmm. These guys right here that played, we was raised on that mentality that we love hooping, that we gonna get out here and hoop. If we healthy, goddamn it, if we ain't healthy, we gonna get out here and hoop. These guys nowadays, man, they worry about their brand. They brand mean more to them than anything else.
So
how much money is he gonna make?
Hold on, let me ask him this. Let me ask him this. Where did it change at then? What started that whole branding thing?
Man, Joe, that's a whole.
What you say? What started?
Yeah, what started that?
Right.
That's what. Get it out there. Let's talk about it. Let's get it out there.
Everybody wants the Jordan brand, right?
That's who started. Think which was that? His rookie year, second year when he had the All-Star game, when he came with all his own stuff and all the guys iced him out. Isaiah Thomas, all them guys, man. I know y'all heard the story.
Yeah, of course.
So when he came with his brand and all that stuff, so look at his brand now, man. This dude come out with some shoes. It's a line outside the store before the store even open in the morning, man. Let's just think about that. Let's just think about that. You talking about brand? I mean, you can put the silhouette of this guy's head, not his face, just the silhouette of his head. Shape his head.
Ain't that what the cologne was? The cologne was his silhouette.
But we can put it. You can put it up right now on your window on that shade right there, and we'll know, like, man, that's Michael Jordan head. That's a Jordan shade. You know, we know the silhouette of this man's head.
That is true.
So the brand alone, ain't too many guys you can put the shape. We can look at that look and be like Kobe silhouette, like maybe Kobe, but not too many guys you can look at the silhouette of their head and use it as a brand.
But you know what? When Michael got paid by Nike, first of all, it changed everything. But until 12, 15 years ago, there weren't other brands lining up big money for guys to wear their shoes. So if Jordan Brand says, "Hey, Kawhi," most rational basketball fans would consider you a top 10 player in the league, but we're only going to give you $5 million per. If he hits the free agent market on the court and with what's on his feet, you can't tell me that Adidas, which has only got like 2 years left with Dwight Howard and Derrick Rose, or Under Armour, which is throwing more money than they're throwing God's ransom at anyone.
That's why I think that trend started.
You better believe that he's going to care about what goes on his feet, and playing in a big market and having your games on prime time before 10 p.m. Eastern is a big deal with the feet.
But he's dry. You know what I'm saying? That's why Michael Jordan throwing a 4-year, $20 million contract at him. He's dry as hell. Who the fuck wants some Kawhi Leonard shoes? What type of personality did he bring to the game? And this the difference.
Oh, he didn't opened up more.
Yeah, he opened up.
No. As a past 2 years, Kawhi didn't have commercials. They've been branding Kawhi like a motherfucker, man.
Yeah, they trying, but he's not to that level of Stephen Curry, LeBron James, Durant. His shoes will never get to that level. He's too dry, man. He need to open up his
He need that character.
He need to open up his personality. And this is the reason, not to go off topic, why Michael Jordan was considered the greatest. It's not just his basketball. why he's considered the greatest of all time. He's an iconic figure